Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Tommy here for the Hard Rock Life vlog, and I'm out over Caesar's camp. It is an amazing day, not a cloud in the sky, the sunshine is beaming down. I've just been walking over the lakes and there's loads of dogs going wild, splashing around, having fun. So all in all, pretty wholesome morning. So I figured I'd just do a quick vlog on a few things you can do to help improve any kind of anxiety you're having, or if you're feeling a bit depressed in the lockdown. There's a couple of things I've discovered and a couple of changes I've made to my lifestyle that have made a massive difference. So there's no two ways about it really. Getting anxiety absolutely sucks and people suffer from it in such varying degrees, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of a bit of a blanket term really. I think having anxiety means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and the borderline of sort of anxiety leading into depression and all those kind of horrible feelings that you can't really suppress, sometimes for absolutely no reason. It comes without warning and it manifests itself in many different ways. You know, some people it's like a quickening of the heart, other people it's sort of feelings of panic and gloom that are just sort of, you're unable to explain and you're unable to give a valid reasons to why you feel that way. Sometimes you wake up and you just feel nervous and flighty. And with the lockdown and what's going on at the moment, for me personally, I sort of was suffering a little bit. I was feeling very down and I wasn't getting out. I was sort of worried that if I went out and I was sort of around lots of people or out and about, that I might get sick. I wasn't exactly sure how virulent or how contagious this thing was, and I just felt a lot of apprehension really. And I think this first thing boils down to what I was kind of saying earlier, is that one of the best things you can do to combat anxiety is going out and getting really consistent exercise. So about 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the lockdown, I really did start feeling pretty terrible, and I realised a lot of that was down to the fact I wasn't going out and doing the usual amount of exercise that I would be doing normally. I'd normally be either out cycling or going to the gym or going out for lots of walks, but instead I was staying indoors and eating quite a lot of food and leading sort of a very sedentary life. And one of the main things you can do is just start getting out there. I mean, obviously maintain your social distancing, don't put yourself anywhere that might compromise your sort of safety or anything, but if you're not going out and doing regular exercise and you're feeling anxious, then seriously, like, the first course of action you should take is get out there and just start doing regular exercise. For me, cycling was an absolute game changer. It's just such a rush, and it's so hard work, and it really gets your blood pumping and your endorphins pumping. And you know, you don't need like a fancy road bike or anything. Just get out and do like a light cycle, you know, even if it's just half an hour on the flat just around where you live. You'll be surprised that, combined with the sunshine, when you get home, you know, I'm pretty sure your spirits are going to feel lifted. Because for me, when I get back from a ride, especially when I didn't feel like going out and I sort of had to really force myself to go out, man, absolute game changer, absolute game changer. And that's another thing, is like, don't be lazy. Like, it's so easy to talk yourself out of doing anything, especially in the lockdown. Oh, don't really feel like going. Nah, we'll just watch like Disney Plus or something. It's so easy. You got to want to be well. You know, you got to want to get out there and do stuff. You've got to want it, and you've got to push yourself, and or your partner or whoever you're with you got to push each other, because there's just no way on God's green earth that like you're going to get out and start feeling better if you don't actually go out and do it. I know that sounds like a really cliche thing to say, but there's so many distractions in life: social media, streaming services, video games. It's just so easy to like convince yourself not to do something or just say, oh no, I'm a bit achy today. I'm a bit achy. That's the classic, you know. I'm guilty of this. I am like number one culprit of this, is to say, oh yeah, my arm's a bit sore, my knee's a bit sore, and then you convince your partner. They go, oh yeah, because they don't want to go out. Oh yeah, my knee's a bit sore. Oh. And then before you know it, one day leads to 2 days, 3 days, and then you get into the cycle where you don't go out. You lose that buzz for it, and then it's so easy. It's so easy to get into that sedentary life again. So the last kind of two and a half weeks, I've been road cycling every other day, and then going for a walk in the days in between, just a gentle walk, nothing too crazy over the common. And it's made a massive difference to me, and I really recommend it. So another thing I found that's really helped me was a couple of years ago, I decided to cut my caffeine intake right down to basically nothing. The only thing I have right now, I have a decaf coffee occasionally, which might still be detrimental, but I found that by doing so, I've cut my anxiety down so much. I mean, what would trigger me normally, or trigger my anxiety, I mean, it just doesn't seem to. I don't get that rush, and I think a lot of that is down to the fact that I don't smoke cigarettes, I don't take any stimulants at all. I mean, other than having a decaf coffee once in a while, that's it. I don't have cups of tea, and I think a lot of people are seriously hooked on tea and coffee because it's sort of innocuous. People don't really associate it being a very powerful drug, being a very powerful stimulant. And as a kid, I used to have this red tippy cup with a tea with 3 sugars in as a kid. I mean, it's something I grew up on, and I think I've always had a very sort of, I say a panicky imagination. I'm always imagining the worst case scenario of things. Very sort of as a kid, I would always do that. Always be sort of a bit worrisome as a kid. But I found cutting out the teas and the coffees is an absolute game changer if you're suffering from anxiety. Absolute game changer. And it's helped my sleep. I mean, I sleep to be fair, I've always been a pretty good sleeper, but I found since cutting out the stimulants, I mean, it's like I'm dead. It's like going to bed and being dead. Amazing. Wake up feeling fantastic. So that's my advice to you guys, is just quit the caffeine or cut the caffeine down, or just go on to decaf, and you'll find that you can have that awakeness. You don't need a coffee in the morning. It is utter bullshit that you need a coffee to wake up in the morning. It's just society programming you to get on those stimulants, because you've got that energy. Seriously, if you start exercising regularly, and quitting the caffeine, you'll wake up, you'll have a glass of water and your breakfast, and you're going to feel incredible. Like this morning, I got up and I was like, boom, I'm going to go over the common, have a massive walk, record some vlogs, start my day off. I was ready to go. I woke up this morning, boom, I was ready to rumble. So that's my second bit of advice, is cut those stims down, people. So the other thing that I've found that's really been helping me is I've completely changed my diet. So originally I was on plant-based diet, which I have been for about 4 years now, me and my partner, my girlfriend. But just because you're on a plant-based diet doesn't really mean nothing unless it's healthy plant-based diet. You can have a very unbalanced plant-based diet. I mean, it's not just you stop eating meat and dairy and you're suddenly Mr. Motivator. It's you got to be eating good food. And over the lockdown, I was smashing the Belgian beers, the Hogsback Brewery. Shout out Hogsback Brewery. They were doing this amazing social distancing service of letting you fill your car up with boxes of Belgian beers, and they scan it and stuff. So me and the missus were smashing the Belgian beers. I love cooking, so I was making all kinds of yummy vegan cakes and stuff, baked goods. It's no good though. I put on quite a lot of weight, as I said in my last video. And obviously alcohol as well is was going to say, alongside with caffeine and stuff, like, you can't be smashing the booze either. Like, I'm not saying you need to become a monk or anything, or saying that they probably drunk the most. You don't have to go like teetotal, but you just got to be mindful of how much of what you're consuming. Because I was drinking like 8% Belgian beers, and do you know what? I wasn't drinking. I was probably having one a night, but having one every night. And obviously this is all just my personal experience. So, you know, you might be listening to this and be like, I can drink a Belgian beer every day at 8% and feel absolutely fine, and that's cool, and power to you. I'm just saying from my perspective that drinking Belgian beer every day and also eating a lot of fried rice and like Linda McCartney sausages and Vigo bars and stuff has not done me any favours mentally. It's made me feel proper sketch. So I've been cleaning up my diet, and like I've said, I've gone on to this high carb, low fat vegan diet where I'm eating rice and vegetables and sweet potatoes, cereals, lots of grains, and lots of fruit, lots of dates, lots of bananas. I'm cutting out all the oils, and it's been working. It's been an absolute game changer for me. I get up in the morning and I have like a bowl of basmati rice with a bit of soy sauce, a bit of sweet chilli on there, and I have a fruit smoothie at about 11-12, and I feel awesome. Like, I don't feel heavy, I don't feel like heavy on my mind, and that's important. I think what you eat is such a massive determination on how you feel mentally. So I honestly think that, like, I mean, look, if you're watching this and you're a meat eater and stuff, I'm not like trying to jump down your neck and be like, yo man, go plant-based or anything. But what I would say is, if you can cut down the amount of animal products that you're eating, and all the, especially like the dairy, high saturated fat, I mean, you're gonna feel amazing. Like, seriously, like, people might laugh and be like, well, what, I can't believe you eat a bowl of rice for breakfast. What do you think Rice Krispies are? Rice. You know, it's just a grain, it's just another grain. Why do you think people eat cereals for breakfast? It's just a cereal crop. But it's packed full of carbs, which are going to fuel your cells, fuel your mind, give you energy to start the day. And it's been awesome. Like, I go out cycling and I'm smashing it. I mean, I'll get up in the morning, I'll have a glass of water or a glass of orange juice or something. I have like a massive bowl of white rice, or I'll have cereals pimped out with raspberries and strawberries, blueberries, no nuts, no seeds, a bit of sugar on top, or a bit of agave syrup. Job done. Fruit smoothie, 11 o'clock, and then I'll do my exercise, go out for a walk, or if I'm going out a bit later on, you know, eat a Cliff Bar in between, have crumpets with jam, no butter, sweet potato, jacket potato, baked beans, all the good stuff. And seriously, you'll start feeling so much better. Like, all these things, if you sort of encapsulate all of these things, deer's just running past, amazing, proper Bambi just smashing it through, and another one. So many deers up the forest. There's a dog chasing, it's a dog, it's a little sheepdog chasing the deer through the woods. Nuts. So if you start incorporating all these different things, you're gonna feel so much better. I absolutely guarantee it. So, to round up, to surmise, if you start exercising regularly, getting out there, getting it done, getting out on your bike, going out for some lovely walks in the sunshine, if you're cutting down on the stims, cutting down on the caffeine, not drinking 8 cups of Joe to try and get through the day all the time, and if you're eating well, eating high carb, making sure that you're fueled with the proper fuel for the day, I tell you, you're going to start feeling awesome. Like, it's going to be an absolute game changer. I think I've said game changer like 9 times in this. I'm turning into sort of like NLP, subliminal message. It's a game changer. So that's my advice. These are the things that I've changed over, well, since like coming the last kind of 2.5 weeks. these are some things that like I just have absolutely made me feel so much better, and I just hope that like you can find something within my experience that if you're suffering from a bit of anxiety that it alleviates it, because it sucks having anxiety. Like, it's something that I've had, I think, on and off throughout my life, but only as I've got a bit older I kind of actually realised it was something. I just thought it was me, and that's how my brain was. But I just hope that like maybe something that I've said might be something that you want to try, and I hope, you know, it does give you some results or a bit of reprieve, help you get out there and enjoy life a bit better. If you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful and you've enjoyed looking at my lovely beardy old face, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and hit the bell. I mean, what person on YouTube doesn't say that on every video? But it is really important, because it's so hard with the algorithm changes to get the coverage. So if you have found this useful, like if you could share it on your Facebook, give it a tick, give it a like, or don't. If you haven't found it useful but you've watched it, thanks for the extra viewing hours, because that all helps as well. So I wish everyone the best. I hope you have an anxiety-free rest of the week. I hope you get out there and see some nice stuff, see some relatives, and I hope everything goes all right for you. So stay safe, get your exercise, get the good food down your neck, cut the stims, and be an absolute beast. Peace.